This is part one of This Skin Was Once Mine by Eric LaRocca. I'm still on my drive home from Portland. My voice is pointed at you, and my eyes are on the road, I promise. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty of a brand new book. So personally, I love Eric LaRocca's books. I love his descriptions. I love his stories. It just fantastic. This particular book has 4 different short stories with LGBT undertones. Each one is kind of a mystery/thriller with a little bit of horror in there. Each story is a little different from the next, but with a great plot twist at the end. I don't exactly want to judge each story individually, but I'd say overarching on a scale of 1 being the weakest and 10 being the strongest in my personal critique of how much I like the story descriptions, I'd give it an 8.5 because personally I feel like a lot of the stories, probably like 3 of them, felt a little unfinished and rushed, but I still love them because the shock value in a lot of these stories are very toned down to what we're normally used to with an Aaron Beauregard book or even Christopher Triana. The shock value in this is a lot less grotesque and more emotionally driven. We'll get into that. So instead of giving you a normal book summary, we're just going to jump in blind and I will take you on the journey of these 4 short stories. This book begins with a poem. Through indiscriminate suffering, men know fear. It is the most defined emotion. It is the stones for altars and the beginning of wisdom. Half gods are worshipped through wine and flowers. Real gods require blood. Zora Neale Hurston. And another poem by William Faulkner. This skin was once mine. The past is never dead. In fact, it hasn't even passed. Time jump to a week later. Pepperoni is... She's come out of her shell and she's just so adorable. And she's pretending to hate every minute of it, but she secretly loves the baby. Ain't that right, baby? Ain't that right? So now we go into the book. The date is October 21st, 2021. The narrator begins by saying the worst thing a person can do to you is let you live after inflicting the most traumatic event onto you, forcing you to live with the memories and the feelings that they inflicted upon you for the rest of your life. That is worse than death. Our main character goes on a personal monologue about what it means to be a survivor, that title is so overused, that nobody cares about who you were before the incident until it happens. Nobody cares about how you're coping or who you were before that title was sprung upon you. They are only interested in the details of the event. An example, like when a woman goes through some horrific, non-consensual events, once that abuse comes out to the public, you will have microphones and cameras shoved in your face, forcing you to relive each event verbally by giving away all of the details about your abuse. It's sensationalized and it's disgusting. No peace for her as she tries to recover her day-to-day life after such horrific events. People want details. And that term, survivor, is now placed upon her as a label of heroicism or whatever. People care about the details and the fact that you are now a survivor, but nobody cares about what it takes to get up in the morning, to get a job, to go to work every single day. Any loud noises, any subtle remarks flooding all of those horrific memories back into your brain. Every day, day in, day out, losing contact with family or trying to reassess a relationship with your family. How friends will treat you after that. Nobody cares about those things until it happens to them. But the public only wants details. They only want a story of survival. That's it. They want the horrific details. October 11th, 2021. Our main character sits inside of her car, outside of her place of work, fiddling with a model airplane set made out of wood. listening to those self-help mantras of people like me, people are drawn to me, I am powerful, I am loved, people respect me. Over and over and over and over, these mantras continue on as our main character repeats after each statement, plucking each piece of wood from this model airplane set. And she picks a piece of wood out of one of the slots. And as the mantra says, I matter, our main character cries and says, I matter, while she stabs this piece of wood into the palm of her hand and watches it bleed. And the mantra says, introduce yourself. Hi, I'm Jillian, and I'm afraid of you.